Welcome again to Oscar Ntsinzi Football, where we'll actually be diving in and just discussing the role of Lucas Ribeiro Costa of Mamelodi Sundowns. It's only fair that we actually take it from the system, the formation, or the schemes that Manqoba Mngqithi, the Mamelodi Sundowns coach, is looking at before we can get to the role of a Lucas Ribeiro. Now, he spoke largely of playing the 4-3-3 formation, that is Manqoba, and we saw that from the beginning of the season. 6 rounds or 6 matches have been played in Betway Premiership. I think he played 3 matches in MTN 8, losing the 2-legged affair in the semi-finals of MTN. And then there's been some CAF games, prelims, and then the CAF Champions League group stages starting on the 26th of November. And then Carling Black Label Knockout Cup. They won recently against Kaizer Chiefs, and they're now in the semi-finals. They've played a lot of games already, and he has played, he's used a lot of players, and some people have been complaining about him not having a consistent lineup. But with all the personnel he has used in the systems and the formation that he's looking at, he still maintained that, you know what, it's a 4-3-3 system or a 4-3-3 formation. Now, outside Manqoba Mngqithi, obviously, there's been managers who are still using it, who have used it before, that were a success. I'm just going to take maybe from 2 masters or coaches that are recognized by everyone on earth. Number 1, Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola used the 4-3-3 formation while he was still at Barcelona. Obviously, this is the early stages. And now you're talking about a lot of creative players in the team, but the emphasis on his team was position based, and a slow build up from the goalkeeper, defenders, midfield, and then to the forward players. The front 3, obviously, it will change year to year depending who's sold, depending who's coming into the team. But you'd have a Messi, you'd have a Pedro, you'd have a David Villa. Midfield would be a Busquets, a Xavi, and an Iniesta. That's a 3. And then at the back, you'd have Dani Alves, forgot the black guy now, and then you have a Mascherano and a Puyol. Now compare that to a Jose Mourinho Chelsea 2004, 2005 or so. He also played a 4-3-3 system, but the difference with Pep Guardiola 4-3-3 is that with the front 3 of a Mourinho, his focal point was almost always a big man. He had a Drogba as a number 9, and the 2 players playing with or assisting Drogba, it would be coming from the left, from the right, it would be the left-footed Arjen Robben from Holland, and on the left, it would be a Damien Duff or a Cole. In midfield 3 would be a Lampard, SCN or Thiago, or even a Makelele as the defensive midfielder. Back 4, John Terry, Cavallo, Ferreira, I think Gallas, goalkeeper, Peter Cech. So here's the difference with the front 3 of a Pep Guardiola and a Jose Mourinho. On one side, you have 3 mobile players: Villa, Pedro, Messi. They are mobile. You've got something that was introduced, maybe it was not introduced by him, something that was called a false 9. So Pedro could play it, Messi could play it, and Villa could play it. He was once seen as a number 9, but he would drift away from the number 9 position and could play coming from the left inside. And the Mourinho, you have a stationary big man, a focal point of the team in a Drogba, and a lot of wing plays, a lot of crosses coming from an Arjen Robben or a Damien Duff. Now, the number 10 for Mourinho would be a Lampard. He He's not the most, skillful, but he does basics right. He scores a lot of goals, late runs into the box, he can take shots outside the box, and you've got the workaholics behind him in Michael Essien or Thiago or a Claude Makelele. On the other side of a Pep Guardiola, you'll have the midfield three geniuses of Busquets, who is seen as a destroyer, and then you have on his right, you could have a Xavi, who's more of a coordinator, and then the most creative of the three midfielders would be an Iniesta. So the destroyer, but who's also smart, not the traditional old destroyer like a Claudio Makelele, in Busquets, destroyer, and then a coordinator in a Xavi, and a creator in an Iniesta. Iniesta would be the one that will play closer to a Messi. Hence, you'll see a lot of creation of goals. And there was a lot of overlapping with the 4-3-3 used by a Pep Guardiola. Hence, you would have a lot of goal contributions, especially from the right-hand side in Dani Alves. Probably the best right back ever. I don't think he's probably the most underrated, but you had a lot of contributions from Dani Alves. I don't know how many assists he gave to Messi while they were playing together. He scored goals, he scored free kicks, he assisted. So there was a lot of overlapping, especially from the right-hand side with the Pep Guardiola 4-3-3. So if he pushes up Abidal, the left back, would tuck in, so it would be an Abidal, Mascherano, and a Puyol, while Busquets is the one that is screening and protecting the back guys, while Xavi is coordinating and playing the piano, and the most creative player in the midfield in Iniesta is dancing to the piano and creating a lot of goals and giving more room to another creative player in Lionel Messi. With a Mourinho back form, they ain't going anywhere. If they do still have the cover of a Thiago or a Makelele. So the overlapping was used a lot by a Pep Guardiola 4-3-3 system. Now coming to Manqoba Mngqithi. Manqoba Mngqithi's, the game against Kaizer Chiefs yesterday, you're a goalkeeper. Nowadays in modern football, a goalkeeper must be a good defender or a good sweeper. A goalkeeper that can play comfortable with the ball, that can be calm when the defenders have given him the ball and is able to actually read the game well, know where to pass, know how to pass. So that's the goalkeeper that Mamelodi Sundowns and Manqoba Mngqithi has got. He's a good defender, he's a good sweeper. And then the defenders must be good midfielders. Mvala, a Grand Kekana must be able to have the ball comfortable on the feet and must be able to push and go into the midfield with the ball. So that will need some technical ability, that will need some confidence and on the ball. And that's what Manqoba Mngqithi has got. It's a Grant Kekana and a Mutobi Mvala. Now the fullbacks of Mamelodi Sundowns on the left, it's another creative player who can play an 8, who can play also a 10. And the left back was occupied by an Aubrey Mudiba, the postman. Right hand side, it was Khuliso Mutau, who they overlap a lot on this team. They are taking that trait or that characteristic from that Barca team. They overlap a lot and overload both sides of the opposition. So if they push up, that will mean that the 6 or the defensive midfielder or the destroyer of a Manqoba Mngqithi would be an Obas. At the beginning of the season, it was a Rivaldo. He's not as energetic and more as lively as an Obas. The age is on his side, and he's not as injury prone as a Rivaldo. I'm talking about Obas. He can defend. He's got some pace. At the end of the game, maybe last 10 minutes of the game, he played right back. So that midfield three of the Mamelodi Sundowns, currently it is an Obas, double 8s of an Allende and a Mokoena. If now I have to use the terms I use in the Barca 4-3-3 system, I would say an Obas is the destroyer, Mokoena is the coordinator, and Allende is probably the most creative player. And then the front three, yes, I know now Tesh is injured, but he will play a Tesh, a Ribero, and a Reyners. Since Tesh was not available because of injury in the game against Kaizer Chiefs, it was Reyners. It was a Ribero playing as a 10, and in front of him, yes, man. So it's the double 9, and just behind them, it is a Ribero playing as a number 10. Now, I know, Lucas Ribeiro didn't score against Kaizer Chiefs. I know he's got a short fuse. I know he collects silly and unnecessary yellow cards. But what a baller. What a footballer we have in a Lucas Ribeiro, by far, head and shoulders above a lot of these Betway Premiership players. No disrespect to Mshishi, he's one of the legends of Mamelodi Sundowns, but he is filling in that void and is making us forget that the legendary Mshishi is not there in that number 10 position. He has done so much. If he does not score, he will contribute in an assist. Even if he doesn't contribute in an assist, but he will be involved in the build-up to a goal. So he is so important for Manqoba Mngqithi currently in that number 10 position. The guy's technique of taking shots outside the box, he can curl them. He can even hit them on the laces. If he's inside the box, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, one of the best finishers with the Tesh Matthews. So in a Rebeiro Costa, Mamelodi Sundowns have a star, have a brilliant brain, an intelligent player. Come on the box. He can even go into, in the midfield to go and collect the ball while an Allende will be on his left, on right. There was a ball that was played by Williams from his box directly into the center line. And how a Ribero took control of the ball and just turned around and just, you can even tell players, they are also feeding off of the intelligence of a Lucas Ribeiro. So the role of a Lucas Ribeiro under a Manqoba Mngqithi is such that I can't say it's a free role. It's not a free role, but he is able to connect so well with the number 8, with the number 6, the CDM, and will connect so sweet with the top two, the double number 9s, because you can say it's a 4-3-3, but it also appears like it's a 4-4-2, with him being at the tip of the diamond, the base nowadays being an Obas, the double 8 of Mokoena and Allende, and the double 9 of Eshalulile and Reyners. Him playing behind them or drifting off from the left, the guy is just, he's very good on the ball. If he can just whack on the short fuse, collecting silly yellow cards. Mamelodi Sundowns going into the semi-final against Marumo. Hopefully, if they win it, if they play the final, and he is as influential he has been. He plays well with Reyners, with a Shaluli. He plays well with even a Tesh Matthews, who's out injured now. I don't know for how long, but this should be the poster boy of Mamelodi Sundowns. He should be the poster boy of Mamelodi Sundowns. We should be pushed, even a poster boy, even for the league, to attract other players from outside the country, more players to come from South America. We've had a lot of South Americans coming into the league, but probably, maybe with a Sereno and Allende, these players are very good. Lucas Ribeiro Costa has been very good for Mamelodi Sundowns, and we are excited. Some people want to come to the games mainly because they want to see this Brazilian who's been doing wonders. If he's in the box, if you just open just a small space for him to take a shot outside goal, he's going to test you. So exciting times for Mamelodi Sundowns, exciting times for Mamelodi Sundowns followers. Manqoba Mngqithi, I'm not sure if he's cooking or he's dishing, but whatever Manqoba Mngqithi is doing at Mamelodi Sundowns, we are seeing all these things he's been speaking about, box entries, A lot of opportunities created, a lot of goals. I think it's a fact that Mamelodi Sundowns have scored more goals than any other club at the moment. Even in CAF prelim, they scored more goals than any other side. Yeah, I will end it there. And if you're seeing this face and this content for the very first time, really appreciate if you join the family. Support me by watching the video, support me by engaging, liking and sharing, support me by even watching the ads. You can even go far by, donating, that's super thanks, whatever. There's bank accounts even on the description below, so that I ensure I grow this platform and make it better as build a better studio, have better equipment, so that we grow the channel together. Really appreciate all those who've been with me from day one, really fighting this consistency, because it's been really a challenge with other challenges that have really tried to stunt my progress. And but we fight on, folks, and all the guys have been with me. Really appreciate the support. Let me end it there by declaring, may my God bless you all.